Shabbat Shalom, family. I am Mama Sia.
And I am Papa Sia.
And we are here to help you get your life in this word. You're probably wondering, okay, well, why don't I see Papa Sia today? Well, Papa Sia is here, but he wants to be off camera. Now, I have got to share this with you. We are reading in chapter 7. We're in Genesis and we're starting with 7. That's where we left off the last time that we video. Please forgive us for not videoing last Shabbat Shalom, but we were being challenged in our health. Neither one of us felt up to par. So that's why we didn't. But I must tell you that today we're talking about chapter 7 and it's covering the flood. Now, in chapter 6, Yah was telling us that he was getting ready to bring this flood. Okay, today we're in chapter 7 and the flood is actually happening. So, the reason that Papa Sia is not on camera today is because we woke up with a flood in our basement. Now, it wasn't just us, it was everybody in the neighborhood, and people are still trying to deal with this flood. I mean, you see all your neighbors are outside with these water hoses trying to pull this water out their basement. So we woke up to a flood. So Papa C has been dealing with this flood all day, and so he did not have an opportunity to get dressed because his personal bathroom is in the basement. So he didn't have an opportunity to get dressed, but we decided that we were not going to be defeated, that we took off last week because Hasatan was trying to bring some challenges to our health. And so we just rested last weekend. But this weekend, as we talk about the flood, Papa said it's mighty funny that we're talking about a flood today and we have a flood in our basement. So I just thought I would share that with you. That we've been dealing with a flood, but we're gonna press on because the devil is a lie. Yes, he is. Okay, and when you start missing, then it's easy to miss the third and the fourth. And next thing you know, you ain't even doing it no more. We're not even going there. So you will hear Papa Sia, you will see Mama Sia, and we just going for it because uh, we just not gonna be defeated. We might be delayed, but we won't be defeated. And I need you to know that flood in that basement is thick. It's deep. How many inches of water would you say we have?
It's at least 5, 6 inches of water.
It's at least 5, 6 inches of water in our basement. But it's the whole neighborhood. We had a terrible rain here yesterday, thunderstorm here yesterday, and it is over flooding. I guess the water drain system is over flooding the drain system, so it's not sewer. Hallelujah, because it's all clear. But it is. I mean, it's past my ankles. I mean, I had to put on my wade in the water boots this morning to go down there and help Papa Sia. So I just backed up and it's like, you know what, we're gonna film today. We're gonna do this Bible study because the devil must not want us to. And I just find it. I'm with Papa. We talking about a flood while we have a flood in our basement. Okay, all right. And let me tell you about my basement. It's full of furniture. It's a whole nother house down there. I just bought a brand new sectional June 3rd of this month. It ain't even been 30 days, and that water has reached my sectional. It's come about this much above the couch, the sectional. So it's pretty high. It's went all the way up and then went into my brand new sectional. But I'm still smiling. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and get into chapter 7. I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about it anymore. Let's get to our Bible study. We're in chapter 7. So, Papa, I'm gonna need you to read up because you're kind of far away from me today.
Okay. And the Elohim said unto Noah, Come thou and thy house into the ark, for the house I see righteousness before me in this generation.
Okay, I'm going to read that in the Amplified. And the Elohim said to Noach, the word for Noah, the Hebrew word for Noah is Noach. Okay? Noah. Come with all your household into the ark. Keep bringing them in, y'all. It's getting ready to get ugly, like it is in my basement. For I have seen you to be righteous, upright, and in right standing. That's what righteous is. Before me in this generation. Okay. Now, righteousness is not his righteousness. God counts faith. You believing in his son, you believe in what he said. He counts that as righteousness, your faith as righteousness. So remember, everybody, he said that only evil is in man's heart. That's it. There is no good in not a man's heart except for Noah. He's the only one that believes what Yeshua has said, what Yeshua says to him. And he's the only one that tries to do things his way. But believing is counted as righteousness. Okay? So that's the righteousness that's in right standing because you believe. You got to believe. You got to take this thing by faith. Well, Noah, actually, they got to hear Yah. I mean, they got to hear him. He walked with them and stuff, but he still got to take what he said by faith, because here it is in a place where it never rained before, and he's telling him to build the ark because I'm getting ready to send a flood. Now you know people have got to be talking about him. Like, is he crazy? Is this Negro crazy? Because it ain't never rained. And he over there building this great big old ark. How many football fields was it?
4.
It's the size of 4 football fields. And they've never seen rain. But when y'all told him to do it, he got to build it. That's faith. I believe what you said. And so I'm going to be obedient. And then you know people talking about him. Talking about he crazy. You know, they're building this big old ark. Talking about some rain. Talking about y'all gonna destroy the world. Whatever. And he didn't build that thing overnight. I think it was 7 years.
Yes.
Now, isn't that interesting? 7 years. That's the number of completion. It took him 7 years. So for 7 years, Yah had told him he was going to bring this flood, and he didn't see it for 7 years, but he continued to build. So just because Yah say something to you and you don't get your prayer answered overnight, don't stop. Don't stop. Sometimes your faith is being tested when it doesn't come overnight, to see if I don't send it right away, will she continue to believe? Sometimes the devil holds it up when it doesn't come right away, to get you to be angry with Yah because you didn't get what you asked for, what you prayed for. But hold on, little dumplings, because he said, I will never leave you or forsake you. He said, anything you ask in my son Yeshua HaMashiach's name, I will do. His word can't return void. Now, he didn't say when he was going to do it, but he said, I will do it. Anything you ask in Yeshua's name, according to his will, people. You can't be asking for Yah to give you somebody else's wife and Yah to, do all kind of crazy stuff, get back at your enemy. Although he'll do that kind of stuff too. You got to pray according to his will. Okay? You can't be asking for bad things to happen to other people. You can't be asking, make this person fall in love. See, now you're being foolish. You got to pray according to his will, but in order to do that, you got to know what his will is, right? Okay, and this is what we're doing. We're getting into this word, so we'll know by the time you get out this word, you're gonna know his will, and you're gonna have a better understanding of who he is. So for 7 years, he's building this great big old ark, and people are laughing and talking about him. Oh yeah, he crazy. Or them people crazy. What is that they building any? What is he going through? But they crazy. But he heard what Yah told him, and he was obedient, and that was counted as righteousness. Okay? So when Yah tell you to do something, be obedient. Okay, keep going, Papa.
Okay. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by 7, the male and his female. And of the beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female.
I found it interesting that he wants him to take the clean beast by 7. There's that number again, the number of completion. And the unclean animals, beast, by 2. You're just going to take a pair.
Yes.
2, a pair. So he's taking 7 pair, okay, which is going to be 14, okay, of the clean thing. 7 is that number of completion. I find it interesting that all the way up to 6. Remember, he by the sixth day, Yah had created man. And on the seventh day, he made it a holy day, and we're supposed to rest. That's what today is. It's the Sabbath. That's why we say Shabbat, Shalom. Peace be unto you on this holy day called Shabbat in Hebrew. Okay, in English, it's the Sabbath. In Hebrew, it's Shabbat. In case you wonder why they say Shabbat, Shalom. And Shalom is may the peace of Yah be with you. Okay, so he created man on the sixth day. By the time we get to Genesis 6, he's getting ready to, he's making plans to destroy that man. Wow, that he created all of them. And on the seventh chapter, here we go. It's starting to happen now. He telling me, take your kids, take these animals, take your uh, and your wife, and get on up in there. Cause get on up in there. Okay, so that's interesting. So he's also saying that take the clean beasts, take 7 pairs of them, cause he gonna start all over again. And the unclean things, just take 1 pair of them. Those beasts. Okay, let's go.
Of the fowls also of the air by sevens, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth.
See, because he's taking these animals in this ark so that when he destroys all the other people, all the other animals, all the other beasts, he's going to start all over with Noah and the animals that are on the ark. That's what he's going to start the whole world over with. Okay.
For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made, I will destroy from off the face of the earth.
Okay, so this is interesting. He's telling me get on up in there because in 7 days, there it is again, the number of completion. I'm giving you 7 days to get your family and to get all these beasts on this ark. Because in 7 days, it's going to get ugly. Let's go.
And Noah did according unto all that Yahuwah commanded him.
Now, don't forget, we got people looking at him. Where is he going with all these animals? What is he doing? What is this Negro going through? What is wrong with these people? He done built this big old ark. Now he putting all these stanky butt animals up in there. This man been working on this thing for 7 days, talking about it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. I mean, I'm sorry, for 7 years, talking about it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. We ain't seen a drop of rain yet. This brother crazy. Can you imagine what the neighbors are saying? He crazy. He done lost his man. Okay. Anyway, we gonna see who done lost their mind. Just like people are saying to us right now, we done lost our minds too. Okay, we gonna see. Okay, let's keep going before I get off course.
And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth.
Now I find that interesting. See, I just be looking at every little tiny thing. It brings something to my spirit. It ain't really me finding it interesting. It's the Ruach HaKodesh bringing it to my spirit. Remember, man was created on the 6th day. Noah is 600 years old. And God get ready to wipe out all man. Oh, you always trying to connect numbers. Okay, let's go.
And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood.
Okay, they're going in now, and people still talking. But, y'all been trying to tell them people, to get your life right. You don't get your life right, I'm getting ready to destroy everything. And they mocking Noah. I'm sure Noah tried to tell them too, what y'all had said, that it's going to be a flood, people, and you better get your lives right. And they're like, whatever, you're crazy, we ain't trying to hear you. They weren't trying to hear him. Okay, they weren't trying. But that's the way it is today. There's a lot of people not trying to hear us. When we tell you that so-called Negro are those Israelites, they ain't trying to hear us. I done had folks, sisters, relatives tell me that girl done went off the deep end. When I said I don't celebrate any world holidays anymore, that girl done went off the shit and lost her mind. Okay. Okay. But like I said, what's the worst that can happen to me if I follow the word? What's the worst that can happen if I follow his word and do what he say do? But if you don't, what's the worst that can happen to you? We're gonna leave that alone. Keep going, Papa.
Of clean
Just think
beasts,
about that. Okay, go ahead.
of clean beasts and beasts that are not clean, and of fowls, of everything that creepeth upon the earth. That there went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as Yahuwah had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth.
Okay. It's been 7 days. He done got in the animals that Yah has told him to get in, the clean things, the unclean things. And he done got them in. His family, he done took his family in. And they done shut it down. And here we go. Uh, here come the water. And all them people that was looking at that man, he done went off the deep end. Him and his family crazy. Them people ain't got good sense. Them one people down there. Them people talking about y'all done said it was gonna rain. We ain't never seen rain in our life. Ain't never had a drop of rain. He been working on that thing for 7 years, and then a drop of rain came. This man has lost his man. So they did what he told them. Noah has done what he told them to do, and that didn't went in. And they probably looking at him while they was taking them animals in. You gonna put all them animals up in that thing. Now, mind you, this ark is 3 stories high. If you do your research, it's 3 stories high. There is a book of Noah in there, and it's 3 stories high. But anyway, now that they shut the door, now we get ready to find out who crazy, who done lost their man. Okay.
In the 600th year of Noah's life, the second month, the 7th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened.
Okay, we're gonna hold right there. Let's look at that. Let me read that for you in the Amplified. In the year 600 of Noah's life, okay, there's that number. On the 6th day, created man. Noah's 600 years old, and he get ready to start all over. In the 17th day of the second month, that same day, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up. The great deep is the water, people. The lakes, the oceans, the rivers, all that. It was broken up. Remember the great deep? In the beginning, the earth was void and darkness was upon the face of the deep. That water, that there was, that was all that there was that water. Okay, all that water that was there in the beginning is getting ready to be released on the earth. So he didn't that same day all the fountains of the great deep are broken up and burst forth. Here we go. Just whoosh. And the windows and floodgates of the heavens were open. Remember he put some up in the sky, up in the firmament? He didn't let that bust forth too. So it didn't just rain. It was all that water in the beginning when Yah created the world that was in existence, when everything was dark and everything was void. And he started taking the water and he made a firmament in the midst of the water, where in the firmament is the sky. And he put some up there. And then he spread, you know what? All that has just whoosh like a tsunami. It has just come forth. He ain't started to rain yet. He just bursting forth all that water from the heavens, from the deep. Just whoosh. What do you think those people are doing who are outside of that ark now? Do you think that they think he's still crazy? Or do you think they over there going, oh my goodness, I'm sure that's not the word they use. They probably going, oh, spit. We didn't. Oh, you know what? The brother was telling the truth. Oh my good, look at this water. What you think they out there doing? What you think they out there just beating and banging on that ark? Let us in here. Let us. No. No. Not by the hair of your chin. Are you getting up in here? Because once he shut them doors, they was locked. Y'all locked them. Y'all locked him. He been telling you that this water was coming, that this flood was coming for 7 years. He been telling you, and you didn't want to hear it. I bet you want to hear it now, don't you? You're out there knocking on that ark, banging and beating, because if that big gush, the tsunami of all the water that was in the earth and in the heaven that he got up in there and dealt with has just all of a sudden gushed and busted forth, child, them people are running, they scrambling, they screaming, they hollering, they crying, their houses is caving in, all that water pressure. They didn't have houses like we had. They had these little tents and things. I'm sure all that stuff is just being smashed and tumbled over, and cows and their animals is all starting to float and be lifted up off the earth because that's a lot of water. You come on now, you have seen these floods on TV. It's 10 times that. That's just the flood that has come down from that area. We talking about all the water in the whole earth. He has allowed to gush forth from the seas, the rivers, the lakes, the oceans, and from all that water that he put up in the firmament. He's allowing it all to gush forth now. Whoosh! Bet you they don't think he crazy now. And when Yeshua cracked that sky, y'all ain't gonna think we crazy either. You gonna wish you had listened. But it's gonna be too late. So keep thinking we crazy. We will see in the end. Let's go, Papa.
And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights.
Now he has brought the rain. The rest of that was the tsunami first. A big gush from up there, from around here. Now he has sent the rain. On top of that, there's the gush alone that started wiping people's tits and food and kids, and they screaming, trying to hold on. Some trying to beat on the door. Some trying to force their way up in this ark. Your brother finna let us up in here. You ain't finna get in now. You're behind this toast. You getting ready to die. You getting ready to meet your creator. Okay. All right. We are on 13.
In the selfsame day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark.
Okay, they in there now. The doors are shut and the doors is locked. Let's go.
They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird and every of every sort.
Okay, so he done got all the animals in, Noah's in, the doors are locked, the gush has come, the tsunami has come, the rain is falling, and the people are screaming and tripping. They are outside, screaming, hollering, tripping. What would you do? Tsunami come. You saw people get up on their houses and everything. Hey, there's no houses to get up on. What you gonna get up on your little tent? How you think that's gonna work out for you? Nobody was trying to tell you, you didn't want to hear him. Okay. All righty then, as Jim Carrey would say. Let's go.
And they went unto Noah into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life.
Everything that's breathing is in that ark. That's gonna survive is in that ark. Anything outside of that ark won't be breathing shortly here. Okay.
And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Yahuwah had commanded him. And the Elohim shut him in.
Did you hear that? Say that again, Papa.
And the Elohim shut him in.
Y'all locked that doors. Y'all not getting up in here. You had your opportunity and you didn't want to hear it. So you ain't getting up in here. You know, if y'all be against you, who can be for you? You know, they say, the word says, if y'all be for you, who could be against you? Flip that. I like to flip stuff. Let's keep reading.
And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lit upon the earth.
Okay, now that ark has started to float. Because for a while it had been parked dormant while he worked on it. Okay, and the gush and all that stuff has come, but as big and as heavy as the gush was, the tsunami was, it didn't move the ark because the ark is massive. Now the ark, there's so much water, even that ark is out floating now. Okay.
And the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters.
They have set sail. Go ahead.
And the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered.
Did you just hear that? All these high heels. You watch these shows. What is that channel you like to watch with all the animals and
Animal Planet.
no, it's the other one. Something about the earth.
Oh, Blue Earth.
Blue Earth. Anyway, you have watched shows, seen pictures of mountains and things like that. Do you know that water has reached the mountains and covered them up? And he ain't done yet. They're gonna go above the mountains. Keep reading.
15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered.
Mountains is covered. Mountains. Do you see how high those mountains are? You ever drive from into Tennessee and Georgia and out there in Tennessee in that country? Do you see how those mountains, they're so beautiful, but they're also very high too. They covered, baby. The water has reached that high, but he ain't done yet. Keep reading.
And all flesh died that moved upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle and of beasts and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, and every man.
Okay. He just said in the fowl, the birds. You know how high a bird can fly? You know that water reached them birds to kill them too? There's nothing going to be left standing. Birds fly pretty high. But that water has reached them to just wipe their little behinds right on up out the sky. Because they didn't took a flight. They didn't try to climb up to the highest trees. They didn't try to climb to the highest mountain. They didn't try to just fly up in the sky to get away from this water. No, it just reached them and just swooped them right on down in there. Oh no, you're coming too. Come on, everything. Nothing. If you're not in that ark, you're not going to make it. All right, let's go.
All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died.
Anything that got breath in their nose, you're not going to make it. Birds and everything. All of it. All of it. Just not playing. Keep going.
And every living substance was destroyed which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle and the creeping things and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark.
Everything is dead. Everything has been drowned. It's all gone. All the birds, all the ants, all the cattle, cows, sheep, pig, ducks, goats, people, ladies, men, children, babies, infants, teenagers. Nothing's left. Nothing is left. It's a lot of people floating around in the waters. Animals, birds, ducks, just everything is floating in the water. Babies, infants. If you were in that ark, your name wasn't Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, his wife, and their wives, you floating. And you don't have a life raft. Because you don't have life. You don't need one. You floating like a piece of wood. How many of you know that some of those people, when that water started coming, wish they had listened? That's the same thing it is now. When you sure crack that sky, y'all gonna wish you had listened. It's gonna be too late. He's been really, really patient. Really, really patient. But the day gonna come. And it's gonna be all said and done. I know you talking about y'all been saying that the end of the world is coming. You've been saying that for years. We in the last days. We in the last day. One day, it's gonna be right. You gonna be ready? Or you gonna be out there banging on that ark? Could be one of them. This time you're gonna be floating in water. You're probably gonna be floating in blood, but we're gonna leave that alone and keep moving on. Do your research.
Before we do that, I just want to say that as we get into the Apocrypha, it'll tell you that the time of judgment will be as in the days of Noah.
Come on now.
So it'll be the same thing that we're just reading now. The people will be reacting the same way.
The same way. They don't want to hear what you're saying. You're lying. You're tripping. You're crazy. You done went off the deep end. Okay. We're going to see. And in the book of Noah, you will also discover that even though Noah is a Negro, a Hebrew, which is, I just say that because that's what they call us today. Okay, then they were Jews, but today they call. And I just want to ask you a question too. Those of you who think I done went off the deep end or we done went off the deep end. If the Babylonians, the Persians, the Greek, all those people that were the Romans, all those people that were in the Bible, if they're still alive, they're still here because they, of their descendants and so on and so forth. What happened to the Hebrew Israelites? Where they at? Do you think God's chosen people, he just wiped off the face of the earth? Poof, be gone. And I'm going to let everybody else live, but not my chosen ones, not the ones I made in my image and in my likeness. What do you think happened to those people? Everybody else in this Bible is still on the earth today. Where are the Hebrew Israelites? Where did they go? Why would he wipe off his very own people from the face of the earth and just let everybody else? He created the earth for them. Where are they? I'm going to say this and then I'm going to leave it alone. If you were one of them so-called Negroes, go look in the mirror and you'll find one of them. We're going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that right there. Okay.
Okay, and the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
150 days is 5 months, people. That water was there for 5 months. You know what? This water has been in my basement over 5 hours. And I'm just about ready to. Whoo! It has been a chore. It has. 5 months? We ain't even did a day yet. I mean, all the neighbors are still trying to pump this water out, and for some reason, it don't really seem like it's going anyplace. One of the neighbors said, that's because everybody is trying to do the same thing. Everybody's pumping, and it's just kind of maintaining it because the drain system is overwhelmed. It's overworked. We should be compensated. Now, I'm praying that Yah will bless FEMA to come in on this because it's this whole neighborhood. It's not just us. You see everybody outside in their boots. And if that's just been a day worth, it's been 5 months. No one has been locked up in that ark. It's been 5 months. He done wiped everything out. Stuff is floating. People floating. Dead bodies floating. 5 months. Okay, let's move on to Genesis 8.
Okay. And Yahweh remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Yahweh made a wind to turn pages, y'all.
He's turning the page.
To pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged.
Okay, let's read that over here so that you will know what that means. And God earnestly remembered Noah, or Noach, and every living thing, and all the animals that were with him in the ark. He didn't forget about it. I know you're out there floating. I know you've been out there for 5 months. I ain't forgot about you. Remember, I'll never forsake you or leave you. I'll never leave you without help or without hope. That's what he said. And Yah made a wind blow over the land, and the waters sank down and abated. Okay, keep going.
The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained.
He has stopped the rain. He has shut up the windows of heaven from that water gushing forth. He stopped it. And he's also stopped the rain.
And the waters returned from off of the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated.
Okay, I want to read both of those to you in the Amplified because a lot of times it helps you with the understanding. Also, the fountains of the deep. Remember those gushes that was coming forth? The fountains of the deep and the waters from heaven, that firmament that he had held up in the sky. And the windows of the heavens were closed. He didn't close them off now. The gushing rain from the sky was checked. Yeah, I didn't check it. Okay, that's enough. You can stop. Everything dead now. That's enough. And the waters receded from the land continually. At the end of 150 days, the waters had diminished. So it's been 150 days, it's been 5 months, and now the waters are diminished. Keep going.
And the ark rested. Oh,
Yep,
yep.
that's what.
And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 7th day of that month, upon the mountains of Ararat.
Okay, keep going.
And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month, in the 7th month of the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen.
Okay, I'm going to read that for you in the Amplified. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. That's Armenia. And the waters continued to diminish until the 10th month. Remember, they've been there. He stopped it after 5 months. Now it's taking 5 more months to get them waters to dry up. Until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the high hills were seen. Now you can start to see the hills again. Okay, go on 6.
And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up off the earth.
He's sending out the raven to check and see if the flow is gone. Is it safe to come out? Because when it's safe to come out and the treetops are no longer, or the trees are no longer immersed in water, then this raven will be able to pick one of those branches off that tree, which means that it's going to be safe to come out. Okay, so that's what Noah is doing.
He also sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off of the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her unto him into the ark.
Okay, so he sent out a raven, then he sends out a dove. Raven, we ain't heard from the raven. Where'd the raven go? Did he die? Did he get killed? But the dove came back because there was no place for him to land. It was still a lot of water there. That's why he came back. Okay.
And he stayed yet another 7 days, and again he sent forth the dove out of the ark.
Okay, a week later, he sends the dove back out.
And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth.
Okay, so now here the dove comes back with a newly sprouted and freshly plucked olive leaf, and now Noah knows that the water is gone. Okay.
And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more.
Okay, so he stayed up in there. Yay, we got this leaf, but we're gonna give it 7 more days. Okay, so he waited 7 more days. He sent the dove back out because, see, the fact that she brought the leaf let me know that the waters have gone down. But the fact that she came back let me know that there's no place out there for her to put her feet yet. So we're going to wait another 7 days. Now, the raven, I don't know what happened to him. Did he die? Did he get caught up in the flood? Because he never did come back. Okay, so she goes, the dove goes back out, and now the dove didn't come back anymore. And that tells him that she's found a place to land. Okay.
And it came to pass in the 601 year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked and beheld the face of the ground was dry.
Okay, let me read that in Amplified so you can hear something different. In the year 601 of Noah's life, remember he went in at 600. Now he's 601. It's been a whole year. 5 months some waters came down. Another 5 months, y'all start drying them up. That's 10. And it take 2 more to get it all the way dry. Then did a whole year. So in the year 601 of Noah's life, on the first day of the first month, the waters were drying up from the land, and Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the surface of the ground was dry. How many of y'all know he was probably happy? They've been in that ark for a whole year. They've been in there with them animals. They had to come up with all kind of systems to deal with stuff. You know, animals got to defecate too, like people too. They couldn't go outside to do it, so they probably did it and threw it outside in the water somewhere. But still, I know it can't be the best smell up in that ark with all them animals. You got to feed them and take care of them, and you in this ark. But this ark is pretty big. Don't think of it as a small area. How many football fields?
Four.
Four. Think of 4 football fields. This ark was pretty big. Goodness gracious, I would need a scooter to get from one end to the other. That's 4 football fields you walking back and forth every day. Wow. Okay, he's 600 years old. And he doing all this walking back and forth. I just, my mind just be working a different kind of way. Okay, all right, keep going.
And Yahweh spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife and thy sons' wives, and with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth.
Okay, let me read that in Amplified. Okay. And on the 27th day of the second month, the land was entirely dry. And Yah said to Noah, Go forth from the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives with you. Bring forth every living thing that is with you, of all flesh, birds and beasts, and every creeping thing that creeps on the ground, that they may breed abundantly on the land and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. He's starting all over again. Starting all over. Noah and his family are going to be where the people come from, and the animals that Noah has taken off this ark is going to be the animals, the creepy things, the birds, and all of that. That's going to replenish. It's going to start to get the cattle popping and the animals popping again. Okay, 18.
And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him, and every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kind, went forth out of the ark.
Okay, let me read that amplified. And Noah went forth, and his wife, and his sons, and their wives with him, after being in the ark 1 year and 10 days. Every beast, every creeping thing, every bird, and whatever moves on the land went forth by families out of the ark. Okay.
And Noah builded an altar unto Yahuwah, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar.
Okay, so now Noah's building an altar to the Elohim, and he's taken of every clean 4-footed animal. The clean beasts are the 4-footed animals, and of every clean fowl or bird, and he offers a burnt offering to the Lord, to the Elohim.
And the Elohim smelled and sweet savor. And the Elohim said in his heart, I will not again cause the ground any more to
Mm-mm.
Okay, I will not.
Again, curse the
I
ground.
will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done.
Okay, now let's read that again over here in the Amplify. Now remember, he built the ark and he took every clean thing. He is sacrificing them. He's sacrificing one of each one of them, sounds like, as a burnt offering. And when the Elohim smelled the pleasing odor, a scent of satisfaction to his heart, the Elohim said to himself, I will never again curse the ground because of man. For the imagination, the strong desire of man's heart is evil and wicked from his youth. Why? Remember what Adam did? Remember, because of what Adam did from that point on, everybody was born with the likeness, not the image, with the likeness of Hasatan. That's evil. Adam be, was good, but because of his sin, what he did, now everybody is born evil with the likeness of Hasatan. Now, if you want to know what Adam did, you can get my book, and it'll tell you exactly what he did, what the sin was. It was not he picked an apple and ate an apple off a tree. Stop the madness. That's not what the sin was. You can get my book called The Forbidden Fruit. Zudon, Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. It'll tell you just what that sin was that Adam did. But because of what he did, now everybody's evil. That's why he's saying, for the imagination, the strong desire of man's heart is evil and wicked from his youth. You can't do good if you want to, because you have the likeness of the devil. You think any good in him? That's why he said all have sinned and fallen short. That's why he said even your best is filthy rags. That's why he said don't judge anybody else, judge yourself. That's why he said get the mote out your own eye before you try to get it out your brother's eye. Because you're all born in sin and iniquity. And iniquity is the absence of spiritual or moral consciousness. It's been severed, it's been cut off. That's what died. Not Adam personally. Adam lived to be 930 something years old. So he didn't die. It was his spirit. It was his likeness of Yah that died. Now he's like the devil and everybody else behind him. Neither will I ever again smite and destroy every living thing as I have done. I won't do that anymore. But I want to start all over because the hearts and imaginations of everybody's just totally evil. Except for Adam. I mean, not Adam. I'm sorry, Noah. He had to listen. He had to obey Yah. He obeyed Yah, which says his heart was in a different place. He's the only one that could hear him. Could nobody else hear him? Only Noah. He heard him. And he said, I'm going to do what you tell me to do. He told him to build an ark when they never seen no rain. And he worked on that ark for 7 years. But he never stopped. He never got discouraged. He continued to trust Yah at his word. That was counted as righteousness to him. Okay, 22.
While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
So he's saying, I will never again smite or destroy every living thing as I have done while the earth remains. Seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. I won't do it. I won't do it. Okay, we have made it. Oh, we didn't get through 2 of them today. Now 9 is talking about the covenant with Noah. Now Yah is getting ready to make a covenant with Noah. A covenant is a promise. Okay, we might as well dig in. We got 10 whole minutes left.
Okay. And Yahuwah blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth.
Okay, because of his obedience, not only did his life get saved, and his kids' lives get saved, and their wives, now they're getting blessed for your obedience. Do you know Yah will bless you for your obedience? When he tells you to do something and you do it, you will be blessed for that. He said, no good deed will go unrewarded. He's going to take care of you. Now, you can listen to Hasatan, the lesser God, the God of this world. He ain't going to bless you. He's trying to kill you. He wants to destroy you and your family. Okay, keep going.
And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fish of the sea. Into your hand are all delivered.
Okay, let's read that in the Amplified. And the fear of you and the dread and horror, terror of you shall be upon every beast of the land. All these animals gonna fear you. Every bird of the air, all that creeps on the ground, this is everything that's gonna be afraid of him now, of Noah. And upon all the fish of the sea, I deliver it all into your hands. Wow. That's amazing. So he's telling them, be blessed. I'm blessing you. I need you to be fruitful and multiply. We got to get this thing popping. We got to replenish this whole earth again because I done just wiped them all out in a year. I just, so let's get it popping. Y'all be fruitful and multiply. Fruitful mean exchange seed. And let's get this popping. We're going to start all over with you. And if you read in the book of Noah, you'll learn that even though Noah is a Hebrew, he is a albino. He still got all the features that the Hebrew or the so-called Negro today has. The lips, the nose, you know our features, you know we got lips. He still has those. But his skin is white. Got nappy hair. So like us, got that afro, child. Got that afro. But he's an albino. And I'm sure you know what an albino is. But I know it's like, well, we didn't read that. No, it's not in here. It's in the book of Noah. See, there are other books that you need to read. We just starting here. I'm not saying this is the only one. We figured, oh, no, honey. We're going to be in this journey for the rest of your life because there's so many books and things that will bring wisdom that have been hidden from us. So that you don't know who you are. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay.
Number 3.
Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things.
Okay, now in the beginning, he said the trees and the things that came from fruit and the things that came from seed and the things that had seed in it, that would be your meat. But now he's saying every moving thing that lives shall be meat for you. But he's going to make a difference between clean meat and unclean meat. Okay, shall be meat for you, even as the green herb. So you can eat meat now. Okay, keep
But
going.
flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat.
Yah does not want you to eat food with blood in it. And that remains to this day. It will get all the way through the end of this book and that won't change. Some things will change. He'll redeem us from some things. We'll be freed from some things. Like we're going to be redeemed from sin when the sun show up. But eating meat with blood in it, that bloody steak and stuff like that, he said, don't do it. Because see, that's what the life of that animal is. And you eat that blood, you taking in that animal's life, DNA, that stuff gonna get in your body and things ain't gonna work out good. That's how we come up with our ease being dissed or dis-ease. doing things. He's not trying to keep you from anything but sickness and dis-ease, dis of your ease, by putting out these rules for you, just like your parents put rules out for you when they were raising you. They're not trying to keep you away from anything but harm and danger. Same thing with Yah when he makes his rules. It's to keep you from harm and danger. It's to bless you. It's to prosper you. It's to bring you long life. No one's trying to keep you, your little stiff neck, from nothing. Okay. So stop eating meat with blood in it. That's disgusting. Okay, let's keep going.
And surely your blood of your lives will I require. As the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother, will I require the life of man.
Okay, I'm going to read those two in the Amplified, starting with 4 and then going to 5. But you shall not eat flesh with the life of it, which is its blood. Did I make that clear? Did I bring it home? And surely for your lifeblood I will require an accounting. From every beast I will require it, and from man. So he's going to require an accounting from the beasts as well as from man, us. From every man who spills another's lifeblood, I will require a reckoning. Every man who kills somebody, I'm going to require a reckoning. Every man, I will require a reckoning. Who's the man who just came Chauvin? What's his name? Chauvin?
Derek Chauvin.
Derek Chauvin, who just went on, just got sentenced for
Killing George Floyd.
there was more than a killing. That was
Lynching.
That was a lynching. Yeah, it was. Your blood, y'all gonna require your blood. He gonna require a reckoning for what you did. And all y'all who kill people, while you talk about abortions, y'all so quick to talk about these abortions, but what about just killing out and out folks? Sandra Bland. Come on, give me some more. Trayvon
Martin.
The one that they just did, the girl that they shot while she was sleeping in her house.
That was
Come on now, we should know this stuff. I mean, we done said these names so many times. All this blood that y'all shedding. The girl that got shot when she called the police because she was having a dispute. I might not be really good with your name. Let me get my folder. Okay. Let me get my folder. I got your names wrote down in my folders. Yeah, because see, you know what? That's gonna be required. That blood gonna be required. I just want to say your names. I just want to say your names. Let me find my paper. Y'all bear with me for a minute here. Just bear with me. I got a name. I hope I kept that in here with all those Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, Brianna, all these people, George Floyd, and the one with the cigarettes, child.
Eric Garner.
Eric Gardner. All that innocent blood, that's gonna be required of you. Y'all gonna require that. Okay, I can't seem to find that. And forgive me for not being able to spell those names just right off the top of my head. But it's been a lot of them. The little guy that got killed in Chicago, they just shot that little boy down. The other one that they just shot down here in Minnesota. My goodness, when they pulled him over for a broken tail light. Just foolish stuff. All that. It's going to be required. I'm sorry. Forgive me for not being able to find my list right now, but it's okay. But y'all know, okay? It's been a lot of names. I had said that I was going to do a wall in my house and paint all those different names on that wall because see, that could have been either one of us at any time. You know what I'm saying? So forgive me if I can't recall all the names. Jake, The one that they shot in the back.
Jacob Blake.
Yeah, that's Jacob Blake, and he didn't die, but they still paralyzed that boy, that young man, and it's just so many of them. That blood's gonna be required. The young man who took my son's life, that's gonna be required. It was more than one. It's gonna be required. Need you think you done got away with something? Y'all's gonna require that. And he said it out for an eye. You take a life, you're gonna have to give one up. So why they always hollering about abortions, but it's okay to kill the so-called Negro down in the street, shoot them while they sleep. That's okay? Isn't that killing too? It don't matter. Where you killing the man? In the womb or in the street? It's still killing. So go ahead. I done just went all off on a whole nother tangent. Finish up one more and then we're gonna close.
Okay.
I wish I could have went out calling all those people's names. And as soon as I get off the air, every last one of their names gonna come to mind. Every last one of them. That's the way it happens. I don't mean no disrespect. I just want to honor your lives by mentioning your names. And I'm sorry I couldn't come up with all of them, but y'all back there calling out names. I hear you now. And this one and that one. And so you know. We all know. And I think we're just going to leave it right there. That blood's going to be required on your hands. And let me just tell you what bothers me the most. It's one thing, and it's a horrible thing for police to kill our people. It's horrible. And I understand those families' pain. And it just really cuts me because, see, I've also had a child murdered. And it just cuts me to the quick. Some days I have to turn the channel because it grieves me so deeply because it touches my pain that I feel. And let me just say, we never get over it. We just learn how to live with it. Because it's been 15 years coming up in September for us, and we still hurt. You're never going to stop hurt. But Yah knows. I just want you to know Yah knows. Because they also murdered his son, but he let that happen for us so that his son could redeem us back through his blood. Because we were all just totally evil, like Hasatan. He let his son be murdered. You can call it what you want to. It was a crucifixion, but it was a murder. It was one of the most vicious murders. It was still a murder. And he knows how we feel. He knows, he gets it. Because he gave his son, he gave up his son. He could have called in legions of angels to stop that. And he had to watch his son be beaten and ridiculed and mocked and humiliated till the flesh fell from his bone. They put up these little cutesy pictures of what he looked like on the cross. Child, please stop. He was just totally unrecognizable. They had beat him so much, but they still couldn't kill him. So he understands. He knows what we feel. I get it. I know what you feel. You moms, you sisters, you brothers. Oh, I know your pain. Personally. But what really pisses me off, and I can use that word. It's all up in King first, Second King. So is when we do it to each other. That black on black crime. That really hurts. Why would we do that? Why do we do that? They have pit us against one another. They have taught us to hate one another. They have taught this system is the they. Have taught the light skins that don't like the dark skins, and the dark skins not to like the light. Oh, it's a bunch of mess from the pits of hell to get us to hate. They want us to hate one another because they're afraid of what will happen if we unify, if we unite. If we got them hating us and trying to kill us, every nation, that's the one thing that all nations on the world agree upon is their hatred for us. But then you said, well, why? Why, baby, we've been under a curse for 400 years. And we're going to get to that. Because we continue to worship the pagans. We continue to turn our back on Yah, who is our God and our God alone. Every other race, every other nationality have their own God. But Yah chose to be our God, the God of the Israelites, the Hebrews. And we continue to turn our back to worship other people's gods that were made by the man that Yah had created. From wood, from stone, from imagination. And so he like, you want to keep worshiping them? All right, I'm going to let you have them. We're going to see how many times that they did it, and he took them back. And they did it, and he let them become enslaved, and then he took them back. When they cried out, he took them back. And they did it again, and he took them back. And it just kept going. And then finally, he just said enough. He said, you know what, y'all going to do 400. And that's where we are today, people. That's why everybody hates us. That's why. Because we've been under a 400-year curse. And it's sad because people don't get that. People don't understand that. But the 400 years is over. But if you want the curse lifted, you got to turn. You got to humble yourself. You got to turn from evil. You got to stop worshiping pagan holidays. You got to start doing what Yah told us to do. You got to start upholding those covenants, those promises that we made with him, to honor the Sabbath, to follow the 10 Commandments, to celebrate his holy holidays. And what really bothers me is that we got to stop killing each other, hurting each other. Don't we have enough of that coming from all sides all over the world? Why would you join in with them? That's like me. That's like everybody in the world, everybody in this neighborhood trying to kill my kids. And then my kids decide, well, let's kill each other too. That would be stupid as hell. Instead of let's join together and take forces against these people out here trying to kill us. Let's unite and join together and fight together. Let's just kill each other too. That's just stupid as hell. That's how the Romans took over. Because of instead of us, once again, uniting together and fighting the Romans, we was too busy fighting each other. We didn't even see them coming. And they sat back and they're like, oh, okay. Well, they're finna make this easy for us. They're going to kill themselves. So we just going to sit back and wait and let them decrease the numbers for us. We won't have that many of them to kill. Does that make any sense? Yeah, we got to stop. We got to stop hurting one another. I just shake my head when I'm walking in grocery stores or I'm walking, different places, and you walk past another sister or a brother who looks like you, and we can't even speak. We can't even say, hi, how are you? She's speaking to me. They get offended. What's wrong with us? We've been brainwashed. But Yah wants to undo the brainwashing. You got to give him a chance. So next time you see your brother, your sister, when you pass them on the street, say hello. Say hello. Stop hurting and killing each other. Stop it, y'all. Over territory you don't own. Stop. I know your hearts are broken because you want your fathers in your life and they abandoned you and they rejected you and we're all angry about something. But to hurt one another is not the answer. Yes, we do have an enemy, but it's not each other. Okay? So, having said that, I need to wrap up because it's time to wrap up. I'm 8 minutes over. Whew, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. I'm Mama Sia.
I'm Papa Sia.
This is Get Your Life. We hope you enjoyed this Bible study today. Please enjoy the rest of your Shabbat Shalom or enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Yah loves you. We love you. He's waiting on you. He's giving you a chance, but he ain't always waiting. Them doors going to close one day. Just like them doors of that ark close. Don't be one of the people out there screaming, let me in, let me in, let me in. Because once the doors close, it's too late. Start learning how to love one another. Say hello to your brother and sister on the street that lives next door to you. Hi, how are you? We need to start loving. They taught us how to hate for a reason. They don't want us to unite. Why? United we stand, divided we fall. Stop. Get your life. Shabbat. Shalom. All praise and honor and glory to the Most High Yah. See you next time.